Hey y'all. What's up, everybody? Hello. Hi guys. We are here. Baby, this is the TS Madison Experience episode 5 cast recap. Baby, I feel like saying, oh, what a night. Dear God in heaven. Hey, Chi Chi.
Oh, this day is night.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Craig. I don't know if Oliver's joining us tonight. He might be busy. So let's just get right on into it. Let's just chop it up, girl. And listen, I'd like to say to everybody out there watching, I'd like to say thank you guys for we're trending. Craig, we're trending. We're still trending right now.
I know, that's crazy. That's crazy. This was my favorite episode. My favorite episode so far.
Well, I have to be honest with you, Craig. Like I would say that this is my favorite episode, but you know.
Oh well, I'm sure it was a little painful for you.
It was a lot for me. It was really a lot for me.
And for me.
But definitely for Miss Mary.
For me, definitely.
It is. I have to say that the show, let's just take a moment. And even though there's lots of things that have been omitted, the people out there watching the show,
they got everything they needed.
They don't know what's been omitted, but wow.
But to your point,
watching it from episode 1 to now, yeah. But you know, even though we know the pieces, you know what I'm saying? Because even like the scene at Miss Mary's house when we first walked in, of course, that was my first time. Chi Chi was the only one that had ever been there before. Oliver had never been there. I had never been there. Who?
Oliver done been to my house.
Been there. Okay, so Oliver and Chi Chi were the only two that ever been there. Holly and I had ever been there. So that conversation there was so much more meat to it. But I think they did a good job in summing it up. You know what I'm saying? So it was still good conversation. But the reason why I say this episode was the best for me, because start to finish, it was good. And I feel like the wait a minute bitch that you did where you were talking about trans people or trans women and you know, we just want to be respected and we just, you know, the part about being human and like I think that's gonna cause people to think about trans people in a different way. You know what I'm saying? It really humanized for me the trans experience. So that part was good. The conversation with you and Hope when it opened, that was good. Like to me, it was good from start to finish. Then it ended with the conversation with you and your dad.
Which we're gonna open up next week. We gotta finish that conversation because
I had never seen your dad before. You know what I'm saying? So like seeing you walk, like my heart was racing just like watching you walk down to sit down to have that conversation. And I mean, it was just really, really good. It was really good. But one of the things I would say is, and I said this to you at some point when we were filming, it's so interesting to me that you were so adamant about the public calling you she, her, hers, and woman and all these things, but you haven't really put your foot down with your family. And so seeing this entire episode, it brought that conversation that you and I had back, you know? And I just think that you have to be just as vigilant with your family as you are with the public. And I know that it's sometimes harder to kind of get your family to kind of change because they just know you as who they know you as, you know what I mean? So,
you know, to piggyback off of that, what you said, Craig, it's really a thing. And, you know, I know people watching right now, I may get a little flack from it, you know, later on, but it's a thing, you know, when it's like, even though you want this stuff, and I do want to be respected as such, it's just a thing when you know that the intention behind it is not ill.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think that the intention behind my mother saying Tim sometimes, which she does not.
It's not.
I know it's not.
Because I'm like I told y'all before, I'm still growing. This is an ongoing process.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, and I don't care what the people say out there. I know I love my child, and I know I'm not trying to disrespect my child, and my child know that. But that man over there, that man deliberately choose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He do the same thing with me.
Mm-hmm.
He abandoned my child. He abandoned me, and then you got so much to say and talk about your class. What kind of class you got, man? Please get out of here. Class of drugs, alcohol, and hoeing. Man, let me, and then you guilty of all the things you talking about my child, what you can't stand my child for. See, I don't play about my children. And when my children are wrong, I will straighten them. And like I said, Craig, I'm steady growing in this.
I know you are.
And I appreciate Boo for not being upset with me when I mess around and say Tim, because it's not intentional.
No, it's not. It's not.
Because I love my child, because the same thing I want to see other people respect my child, I'm doing it. And Boo brothers is the same way. They're not deliberately doing that to tear Boo down, because we love Boo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
I literally cringed when you and Hope were sitting and you called him from the restaurant.
Ooh.
And I mean, every moment he said son or Tim, I was just like,
but it felt so intentional.
It felt intentional. Yeah, it did.
well, and it was very imperative when we were filming this show that I did have him as a part of that situation, because Craig, you and I had a long conversation before we even got involved in this, before I even brought you aboard on it, because this was some stuff that was going on even when the former was here. And when we talked about it, we talked about like, hold on, my phone. Hey, I'm live, baby. I'm live, baby.
Call me back.
Okay, bye.
Call me back. I like that voice.
Yeah. So what happened is, hold on, I can't see where y'all went at.
So mad I can't even drink.
Allegra, I was crying.
Wait, Mama, I need to get okay.
This wasn't crying time. This was fighting time.
I was mad.
Okay, for me, it was very important. Thank you, Wade TV show. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody else sent a love offering, honey. And thank you guys for the cash apps and stuff that are coming through already. I'm gonna get to you. Thank you, James Carr. Thank you, baby. I'm going through this. I want to get through this. It was imperative for me to have every piece of everybody involved, because I know everybody that's involved in my life is a teaching moment. Thank you, T Racings. Thank you. Everybody that's in my life is definitely a teaching moment. And even though my dad is not really a part of my life, but my father speaks to and speaks from the place of the very disrespectful people out there who intentionally do this stuff to trans people. Like, this is an intentional thing, because they say, and I don't want to call anybody's name. Thank you, AJ Hightower. Thank you. How you said the list of wants was big: simple human needs, healthcare, jobs, respect, existence. Yes, for the truth. Thank you. And regardless if you like me or not, if a person likes me or not, if you can't see the message of the show and you just want to hate on it and find the little things, you just a hater all the way around, because there's nothing bad about the show. The show has been a good show from the start to the finish of the show.
It has been.
Got one more episode to go. We did this in 6 episodes, but we shot this it's been a year we shot this stuff, all the way up until December the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. We did this show.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was important that I added him there on the show, because he speaks to and he speaks for the people who intentionally out of their way.
And you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I want to say this, and I'm done with it. I wanted that to be an example because sometimes people don't see themselves. You know
exactly.
How times when y'all, you know how times when y'all point me out and say, Madison, you do this, you do that, and I don't see myself until I see myself, and then it's like, oh, see, people don't see themselves, and when they see this type of stuff, and we out here on the front line saying, hey, stop misgendering me, stop doing this. Well, how I misgender you? A man. You a dude. You a nigga. Bro, you gonna always be a bro. You gonna always be a dude. You gonna always, and it's just like people don't really understand that we live in this world that rules were set up, a list of rules that was set up for us when we came out that they decided to follow and we didn't. And so we don't never really fit into this world. And so when they over there with this stuff, we don't found
a world.
It's a straight world, and when we found a space that we in and who we are, it's like, well, I'm gonna completely disrespect you because I've decided I've decided not to come out of the matrix. I've decided to live completely in the matrix, and you're crazy. You're a man, you're a dude, you're this, and I'm just gonna totally, completely disrespect you.
But the other reason why he was important and integral to this episode is because, like you said a moment ago, he's a demonstration for so many Black men, so many fathers, so many brothers, so many uncles, so many guys in the neighborhood who move and speak the same way that he does. But also that scene was so powerful and it was so important because not only did you give license to trans people to take their power back, but you also gave power and permission to so many gay men who are still walking around in the closet, like the Donnie McClurkins of the world.
Oh, wait a minute! I got to turn it
on. You made me look away.
I mean,
if you ask me, Boo's father is in the closet. Okay, but see what I give my baby so much respect for. See, because I beg those people, do not put us together. Do not put me and his father together when they want to do something. Talk about us, with Boo. Don't do it. Because he got a nasty physique attitude with him about me and this child. You hear me? But you sick. What I respect was so much for my child, Boo could have tore him to pieces right there. With his own lifestyle of what he's doing. You got so much to say and call my child a demon. What about the demons you batter every day? Your demons. But you can put, that's why I say it's easy to point out other people's faults than your own.
Yeah.
But see, now he need to look back at this and then ask himself, because he don't even know he need help for himself. Before you can try to fix somebody else's house, make sure your own house is in order.
Nigga, you on fire over there? What's going on?
Y'all think I'm playing. I feel almost like I'm going to faint. Like, I'm one of those people that I protect the people that I love.
Me too.
And if you hurting my folks, I'm a fighter. Don't y'all let my old ass fool you. I ain't got to hands for nothing. I'm a fighter by nature. I protect the people that I love.
Listen, when
it was a blatant disrespect. It don't cost you nothing to be respectful.
Respectful to anybody.
It don't cost you nothing to be respectful.
Nothing.
And to sit there to watch that, the intentional disrespect. If you transitioned yesterday and he said Tim or my son, I would get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's gonna take time to do it. This didn't happen yesterday.
Right.
Plenty of time. You intentionally, from the phone conversation to in person.
Well, I ain't
gonna lie. I literally almost felt.
He has told me he's never, just like he told me he's never gonna do anything for me or the child. Just like he say he's never gonna call Boo a woman's name.
And you ain't lacking for shit. You don't need him.
But yet he get mad with me when I say, yet you won't call Boo for you won't say these things about Boo. You won't give Boo the respect. But you
don't need to. You don't need it. You don't need it.
You get the money. You want the money from the child, but you don't want to respect the child. Just because I'm standing by my side don't mean I agree with everything my child do, but I love my child. And if my child tell me my child is happy, and I see my child is happy being who my child is, then I ain't nothing I can do about that but stand back and walk with my child and let my child know I am there regardless whether I agree or disagree. I'm gonna love you, and that's that.
We ain't crying over that motherfucker.
I'm not crying. I'm crying.
Right.
I'd have been close to that mother so and so. I'd have been having to repent from then to now because I'd have put I'd listen. Allegra, one thing I have a problem with, because the man still, that's why I can't be around him. He still put the blame, it's always to blame somebody. He told me it's my fault that my child turned out this way.
Let me tell you about family. We get family passes. If that was a
don't give him no
nigga
pass.
in the street,
Don't give him pass.
that nigga in the street, you probably be sitting up in there fighting right now. That nigga in the street you would have read. That nigga in the street you would have read, but because it's family, we give them a pass, and they think that they still have the right to be disrespectful. It was, for me, it was just a blatant disrespect.
That's how he is.
You don't have to say, you ain't got to call me daughter, but you don't have to call me son.
Right.
You ain't even got to say my name.
Right.
If you weren't comfortable with saying my name.
The thing,
it was just the intentional disrespect.
and
That
then,
when I tell you, I was like, I'm so glad that episode cut off. And usually I'm sitting here going, "Ooh, I want more. I want more." Well, I probably would have fainted. I don't know if I could have taken it anymore.
I don't know how much
racing.
When he just called my baby a demonic, and then he talk about class. What you is, a class crackhead?
Well, I would say, while you sitting there looking like a crackhead, they're gonna sit here and talk about demons. You look like you got to fight some demons of your own.
He is fighting many demons because like I said, I give Boo the utmost respect because Boo could have towed him down because we all know about his skeleton in the closet, what he doing probably to this day, that he was liking the trans girls and the boys.
Look, I'm with you, Craig. I'm gonna look sideways with you, Craig.
I'm sorry, dude, but you gonna put my child down, and you out there doing the very thing you're trying to put this child down. That's why I'm angry.
It's just for me. It's just the respect
and the disrespect.
It costs you nothing to be respectful. Period. Whether you agree with it or whether you disagree with it. Whether it's your daughter, whether it's your son, it don't cost you nothing just to be respectful.
But let me say this. It's just like, and I don't watch Walker and Tammy, but I am on social media. So I heard that there was something going on their show where apparently their daughter came out or something. And
it's always a double standard, Craig.
Absolutely. But Waka Flocka was saying, not only is it a double standard because it's this girl, it's a daughter that's saying she's lesbian, but it's also now he's switching up. And he has more empathy and compassion because it's in his own family. Because he has been problematic. He has been problematic talking about gay people and all this other stuff. So it's just really, really interesting.
But when you watch the show and his body language tells a whole different story that he put out. He really don't agree with her, even though she's a girl, but he just do it because, they on TV. But his body language, because I watch it. Like, I just watched the last 2 episodes when she did her little quinceañera and her girlfriend was there, whatever. His body language, he does not like it at all. So all those homophobic things that he really feels, that's how he really feels for real. Because his body language is like very standout.
But it's okay that he don't like it. It's okay that he don't like it. It's okay that he don't agree with it.
Because everything,
you still have to have a level of respect when you're dealing with your daughter. You still have to have a level of respect. Right. Like, people always tell me they want respect, but they don't think you got to give respect. Because you were very. Because see, I would have crossed the line. I already know me. That line would have been so far. Ain't no blurred. That line would have been so far across. Because once you disrespect me, I lose all respect for you. I don't owe you nothing.
That's me too.
I don't owe you nothing.
That's me too, Allegra. And as what y'all was saying, most of the people you sit around and you point finger at other people going through with their child or gay or going through these things. And sometimes God allow you to face that same situation. You be sitting over there talking what you would do and how you would handle this. You don't know what you would do.
First of all, you didn't do shit. You ain't been there.
until you walk through. You can sit and give all the advice.
You can talk about all the stuff
of a parent who walking through it or a child who going through it. You don't know nothing.
Say it loud. I'm a punkin' out proud. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just an emotional.
And the other part, I didn't know you went through.
Y'all got me over here drinking.
I didn't know you went through all that, looking at you going back in that car, and you over there when you talking about where you was, all those things happened to you while you was out there on that street.
Mm-hmm.
I know now why God was getting me up in the middle of the night, covering you with prayer. That was God waking me up. Those nights, I didn't know what was going on, but now I know.
You're not crying.
To keep you to why you still here today. I didn't know you walked through all of that, boo.
It's a lot of people that don't know.
I didn't know you went through all of that. Well, I'm here to let you know in front of all these people, you don't have to ever worry about me being not there for you from this point on in your life.
I know, Mama.
And I love you regardless. You didn't need him then, and you don't need him now because he toxic in your life.
And you have to get rid of toxic people. And it's the ones that's closest to you that's the hardest.
He's not close to my baby.
I'm just saying, when I say the closest, I'm thinking because sometimes we say family and we think blood. Family ain't always blood.
I don't feel that way. I treat you like you treat me. You say I'm a stranger to you, I'm a stranger to you.
Here you go, Craig.
You transform. It's hard for me to accept something like that. Why? When you came out the closet, I don't know what occurred. Something had to occur. Something had to occur for you just to all of a sudden just change like that. It's a freaky feeling. It's just a freaky thing, period. To see your child transform. It's not easy to accept you becoming how you
woman.
Yeah. In my soul, I can't agree with me calling you a woman's name. I can't help myself, man. I got that kind of class.
Oh, so you think they would lower your class?
You know, it's hard for me to listen to this right now, but in this whole situation, I'm learning that it's better to listen than to clap back.
Girl, first of all, crackhead.
You ain't got no class.
Yeah.
You was a crackhead. Okay, so let me say this.
Before you say Chi, y'all, all of y'all, I always taught Boo to respect your father. Your father, no matter what they are, how they done, you give them the utmost respect. But the way you respect my child, I still tell him that, but it's up to Boo what Boo do from this point.
Because they're crackhead ass nigga out. But anyway,
the best way to respect
my thing
is
was
to deal
leave
with
him alone. He talks.
Okay.
Well,
Very toxic.
I wanted to go back to something that you guys didn't pay attention to that we need to talk about in this space. He did a lot of talking, and we heard the misgendering, we heard the things, we heard all of that stuff. But what we didn't hear and pay attention to was him saying something had to have happened to you.
I heard that.
I heard
something, but we're not talking about, and we do need to talk about this. Majority of the times when it comes to black families or family, when people come out as gay or trans or something like that, they always are under the assumption that there was somebody that molested me or molested them or touched or did something in that space, that it was somebody that way. And so we have to really speak to that type of stuff. Why can it not be that people are just trans or they're gay? Why does it have to be somebody has to be touched or molested? Why does it have to be that way?
And see, this is why I say consistently all the time. Sexuality is instinctive. It's how we're wired. Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're trans, whether you're bi, like sexuality is instinctive. It's just a part of who you are. It's inherent. And and that's part of the reason why I don't really get into this conversation with Black people. And I know it's not just Black people that but because I'm black and I move in black spaces, that's why I'm.
But that's all we can speak for. That's
I mean, but at the end of the day, that we need to have these conversations because these the conversations that I have on my live. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the conversations that I have on my live because this the conversation that nobody really wants to have because people are scared to talk about being molested by their uncle or being touched or you know what I'm saying? They like, you know what I'm saying? They like to always want to sweep it under the rug, but you know, you haven't been molested, but I have. Craig haven't, Legra haven't, you know what I'm saying? So each situation is different, but we need to have these conversations about being molested, and we need to have these conversations in the black community about molestation on a bigger platform because these are things that people running high and be scared to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
The church is the biggest place that don't want to talk about the thing. They don't want to talk about the sex, which God honors that in a rightful way.
But if we're going to really be honest, and if we're going to really be honest, a lot of this molestation and touching and carrying on happens at the church.
Right.
But what I was going to add on to what Chi Chi was saying about molestation, and this person in the comments, Kenya Tippy, we understand that sexual trauma can cause homosexuality. We already understand that. We're talking about, generally speaking, those of us who were not molested or tampered with. Generally speaking, sexuality is a part of how you're born. It's derived from how you're born. Yes, we understand that a person can be raped or a person can be molested, and it can cause a trauma where it causes you to kind of compartmentalize in your mind. I have a cousin. She was born heterosexual. She was a heterosexual woman most of her life, but then there was a section in her life. There was a section in her life where she started dating women because she had been raped by like a gang of men. I don't know how many there were, but it caused a trauma. And what happens is your mind will break down into parts and compartmentalize that trauma. You try to put it in a place in your mind so you can kind of forget about it and deal with it and live your life. So we're not talking about those things. We understand that sexual trauma can cause that. We're talking about.
You know what I found out, Craig? The people who had the biggest problem with people being gay and all those things like that, some of them are fighting their very own demons. And they preach the hardest and hate the hardest because they're trying to fight from their own situation they facing within their own life. This is what I done found to be true with people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's with everybody, but that's what I have seen in my, with what the little bit I done learned and then walking with Christ and seeing people, you so judgmental of others, but you fighting some things yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I sent gas that we would listen. I'm so glad that we were trending with this whole situation because this is what I really wanted us to trend for and trend about this stuff because I got a phone call today from Ashley Marie Preston. She's the trans woman that I had on that day. Craig, I think you came on. She has beautiful teeth.
Mm-hmm.
She's so articulate. I love her, and she's a heavy activist. And listen, shouts out to Hope. Hope be on top of that stuff. I live for Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what Ashley called me today? She says, Madison, I know that you speak about how articulate I am, and you speak about how I do the work in the community. She says, but what you don't understand is, yes, we might be at the prides and we might be at the things and we might be, in gay spaces where our voices echo. But bitch, you in there with them. You in there with the colors, girl.
Everybody has their lane.
Yeah.
Everybody has their lane and everybody has their purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
But I done told Boo, your father's not gonna change until God put his hands on it.
Yeah, we ain't worrying about that, nigga.
It's gonna be the same way. Until God change a man's heart, Chi-Chi, they're gonna keep on walking the same direction. Because
that don't mean you gotta walk with them.
And this is what I'm
saying. Over there.
I know Boo. I always wanted Boo to have a relationship. I wanted my children to know their father and everything, but I see how toxic he is. Boo need to stay as far away from him as possible.
He do.
Because I can't even have a conversation because he'll try to grab me and snap. He told me if he ever catch me alone, he gonna rape me. All this kind of stuff. I have to stay away from him. He talks.
He laying hands, Miss Mary.
I'm gonna lay hands on him if he try to do what he say. Cause he told me if he ever catch me by myself, he gonna rape me. He's still in love with me. But I told her, this ain't about me. This is about you and your child. Your child was trying to have a relationship with you, not me. I'm done with you. That's one mistake I made in my life that I wish I could go back and change, but Boo may not be him. But the greatest thing came out of my mistake as a teenager is Boo. That's the greatest thing came out of that.
Yeah.
Yes, Boo.
Now let's move.
Yes, Legra is a Capricorn. Somebody said Legra must be a Capricorn. Yes, Legra's a Capricorn.
I want to talk about Chi Chi thinking he could spell my name.
Okay, that right there, Chi Chi. You didn't win no spelling bee in school, did you?
Carig. Hey, girl, Craig, listen. Craig, I'm in there, girl.
How you spell that? How you spell that?
I said, that's not how you said it. They said yesterday, keep spelling it. I said, okay.
The difference
I
between
said, well,
laughing
that's
with
not how you
and
spell
laughing
it.
at you. They were
Okay,
laughing
that's not
at
how you. I said, that's not how you spell it. But yeah. But
Oh
yeah,
my God,
Craig.
that was funny.
Craig. Right there, these Craig.
What about when you guys, because they did chop a lot of the story out when we was going down to 79th. It was really good. It was really deep story. Craig, do you want to speak on the story from when you was down there when we rolled down 79th and we actually got out and got to these different places? We went to more than just that one spot. Like we was walking all over that place.
And I mean, and you told so many stories when we were out there. You know what I'm saying? They showed the one story, you know, where you ran through the poison ivy because I think the police were coming or something. But I mean, you told multiple stories. And for me, I had never heard that story before. You know, you've told me a lot of stories over the years, but that's I had not heard that story. But even in all of the stories that you told me, it was nothing like being out there and actually seeing it. Like your stories are very visual, so I can always kind of see your stories. But in addition to being able to see it for myself and actually being out there and then just like imagining you being out there, like I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. And then I was kind of wondering like what it was like when you and Chi Chi first met. And I mean, my mind was just going in a thousand different places.
Well, that part had me in tears too because I didn't know Boo walked through all that. But now I know when all those nights I was up praying, I know now why. Because all the stories I done heard Boo sit and tell y'all, I hear the story just like when y'all hearing them. And sometimes they blow me away when I go in the room and sit down and after I done heard the story and I go and say, oh my God, Lord, this is why you had me up at this time. This is why you was telling me to pray for and call out Boo name. Was praying for covering Boo in the blood. I didn't know Boo was facing all those different things. And the one that got me to, well, I don't need me telling. That was the one when I told you about them.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
So
but here's the thing for me, like I really wish they would have got us on that back street because that back street. Remember when we rolled down the back street? Like all of us in the car could feel it. Like all of us in the car, even the camera person, they was like, oh, you could feel it. Like
you said if somebody had gotten killed on that.
All the girls, it was multiple girls that died there. Like multiple girls have died on that back street.
Right.
And like when we was talking about it and you can feel the energy there riding on that place. I was just like, oh, I didn't want to get out the car over here because I was like, dear God in heaven, you know, and I was very in an emotional spot because I was like, girl, you know, I could have died back here.
You could have been there.
You know, and like I just feel like that the reason why, you know, God put me in the place that he put me and he let me get past is to speak for these trapped souls on here. Like I felt like I said that these girls' souls
are still trapped right here
on this, and you could feel it. It was such an eerie feeling. Like these girls' souls are trapped right on this lane right here. And if you watch American Horror Story and you see how those spirits are still trapped in those places where they died, like in Murder House and on their hotel, and they can't escape. Like it's like I feel like those girls are still day and night. It's trapped there.
But you know, but to add to that, the reason why it wasn't you And the reason why he chose you to, because he could have chosen any trans girl to have her own reality show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason he chose you is because he knew you would do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Could have chosen anybody, but not everybody's going to stand in the gap. Not everybody's going to be there to be able to take the lashings that you've taken. And you know what I'm saying? So he knew that you would do the work.
I'm so glad you made it out of it.
I know, Mama.
Well, I wasn't ready to cry. I was ready to fight.
Clearly, Allegra.
Miss Mary was ready to fight too.
I kept telling myself, okay, don't tweet angry stuff. We're not promoting violence. We're not promoting violence, but
I just didn't know my child walked
girl,
y'all, because looking at it and listening to Boo tell the story, sometimes you laugh at them, but when I sit back, like I said, and listen to Boo and these stories that been told since Boo been on this show and stuff, and the more of hearing and hearing the story about how girls died out there, Boo didn't tell me all these things. I didn't know all these things happened to with Boo out there.
Yeah, and
I didn't know. I just know my God was getting me up, praying, calling out my child's name, and didn't know why at the moment. And maybe those were moments when Boo was near death. I
Yes,
don't know.
indeed.
God knows.
might have been.
Only God knows. I just know the experience I done had, that it done been some things, and it was some things close like that. God done had me to pray for Boo, and Boo shared with me what was going on at those very hours.
Yeah. And knowing that we got to pick up with this next week, like I'm like,
because it's more.
We got to pick up next week. Y'all are in the middle of that conversation, so we're going to get more of that.
Yeah, because it's more. Like it is more. And like he said a lot of stuff, and then me sitting there watching it, and like just me sitting there into the whole situation.
Did you want to punch that nigga in his face?
I did, but you know what? And I said it in my green screen, girl. I didn't know whether I was gonna whoop his ass.
I tweeted, bust his ass.
He knows I'm a battle cat. Boo.
And he sure know.
And he knows I'm a battle cat. Down. He knows.
As Mary said, he sure know I am.
And not only that, you saw the distance in between, and there was parts where he said, I'm nervous because I don't know if you're gonna attack me. And I said I might. I said I might attack.
But he gotta have it to jump on people.
He ain't gonna jump on me. I told him. He said I don't know if you're gonna attack me. I said I might. He says because I know you like your mama. You likes to fight.
No, I
like to defend myself. There's a difference.
There you go. Because he always
fight.
He always trying to attack me. Not me, it's him. But I don't let no man attack me. I'm not that kind of woman, a man to beat on. I don't care if I'm saved or not saved. You ain't beat no Mary Mackey.
That's right, mother hands.
Well, let's talk about too, Miss Mary, that moment when you saw your grandbaby.
Oh my God!
I about cried. I was like, I'm not crying, Miss Mary.
I
was crying because y'all know. I don't know if y'all remember. Even with me finding out the reason I couldn't go home when she did have the babies because she ended up catching the COVID. Both of my daughter-in-laws caught the COVID, and I couldn't go home. And I was crying, and my daughter-in-law was calling me because she was so scared that the baby. See, a lot of people didn't know what was all going on. I was battling a lot of things that I would just go in my prayer closet, and I told her everything gonna be okay with the baby. And when I saw him, Allegra, girl,
he's beautiful.
I was crying.
He's so handsome.
He's so cute. He's cute, and he's
cute. You know the other the little girl is not. That's my. She's
your grandbaby too.
That's still my baby because I've been with her since the day she was born.
That's my niece too.
That's my baby. She's my baby. That's my baby too.
With her phony ass.
But
Maddie, how does it feel to have a biracial family?
The little boy is my very first
grandbaby.
Biological. From my son's from
Puka's nutsack.
That's mine. And I'm telling y'all, when I saw that, I was over here crying. on the sofa because
Mother
I
hand.
was gonna get to see them. Because she didn't think she was gonna make it. She went through a little tough time because she had to have.
She had the baby while she had
COVID.
Yeah, and nobody could be there for her. She had to walk through that all by herself. My son was almost crying. He couldn't be there because she lost her breath while we was talking to her. He was talking to her on the phone that they was gonna do where he could watch the baby be born. And I think she got short of breath. And something happened and they couldn't, and we both got scared because we didn't know if she was okay or not. I was facing a lot of stuff while we was taping this show. And I was just prayerful. And that's why I say nobody can tell me my God ain't real.
Hallelujah.
Because the baby had nothing.
He didn't have COVID.
And neither one of my sons, and they wouldn't let the baby come home because of her having the COVID. The baby had to stay in the hospital. Because she had to be cut to have the baby. And the baby she didn't see her baby for 5 days without her even being able to touch the baby or anything. And she would call me and be crying, and I would try not to cry, and just keep praying to try to keep her lifted when she would tell me what was going on. And finally, when they let the baby come home, my son them had to test. Neither one of my sons got caught the COVID, but their wives and mother-in-law did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they let the baby come home with my son so he can care for the baby. Girl, I'm just thanking God for so many things. Y'all just don't know. And they can call me Mother Tear, whatever they want to call me. Those tears are tears of gratefulness of how good God is. And I ain't ashamed to tell nobody. And just seeing that baby that day, and when we walked in and seen her, I couldn't do nothing but cry.
Hanna bibi I shall. Well, I thank God. Hanna bibi I shall tap. Hanna bibi I shall tap. Hanna bibi I shall tap. Hanna bibi I shall. Bibi I shall. Hey, bibi I shall.
I was crying, man. When they walked
really, Madison?
I was crying.
Well, Craig, how was Howard University?
Oh,
I don't know because I didn't go there. I went to Hampton.
Oh, excuse me.
Baby, when I tell you all of the Hampton folk were all up on under my Instagram post.
Yeah.
How was Howard University?
I did see somebody in the comments, or I was trying to go block. I've already blocked like 4 people. I did see somebody in the comments. So, like, I'm not with that stuff. Oh, girl, your show boring, girl. It's just, only your
then
core.
Why are you watching it?
Don't watch it.
Listen, you guys are so conditioned to bottles coming across tables and hoes having sex with other hoes men, and girl, go to Zeus. Zeus got y'all over here where I'm at. That's not what I decided to do. That's not the trajectory. I'm 44 years old, and though any 44 or
44.
I'll be 44 this year. Any 44 to 50-year-old girl that's out there want to bust a hoe in the head with a bottle and do all this stuff on national TV during the climate of black people trying to come up, girl, get out of here. This show is definitely not for you to watch.
And looking like food, because that's why the people think y'all act like animals, because that's all you want to do is fight. Every time they're looking at something, you're on there fighting and carrying on, tearing each other down. It's time to change that. It's time to change.
Your mind's been so conditioned to just conflict. You're poisoned. Mm-hmm. You're poisoned. And then when you see something else that's bringing you out of that poisonous mindset and trying to heal families, heal friendships.
The funny thing, they say your show is boring. Then why are you on the after show?
Right.
But you didn't want to watch the show. Why are you over here?
Yes,
your ass down somewhere.
They said Boo wasn't gonna never have a show.
And even if I don't get a second season after this one, honey, I want a bitch to get their first one.
You made it.
And all the doors, honey, listen. All I do is let y'all run y'all mouth
while
I run my business. I ain't telling y'all. One thing that I have evolved and growing into doing is not letting my right hand know what my left hand doing. And this is why y'all thinking that all of this stuff going on right now, like, oh my God, this happening out of blue. No, I've been quiet.
You don't need to tell everybody.
I've been quiet. I've been silent. Y'all don't know what's the next thing gonna pop out.
While y'all sitting over there telling lies.
Y'all don't know what's the next thing getting ready to pop out, babe. I just popped up in a whole movie. A whole movie out here. Y'all have no time.
Put it out there. Tell them what's the movie, Madison, and how they find it. Where is that?
Zola will be out this summer. You can hear her whole voice over there, honey, telling them, Lord, send us. And they paid me handsomely for that, honey. A check came in the mail the other day, and I was like, hey, y'all still giving me money from this? Thank you, A24 Studios. And I see y'all keep speaking about that y'all want my life to be, brought into a movie, and y'all want this and this stuff going on. Sit tight. You think people ain't sitting over there watching? All y'all that's calling the show boring, you think them folks over there that's sitting there watching the T.S. Madison Experience ain't already done approached me and got their pen and pad together? Ain't that's right, Manager Allegra?
It don't matter what they say or think. It doesn't matter.
Manager Allegra, this is why we're busy.
It doesn't matter. Because what
you ain't gotta tell them.
I ain't got to say nothing.
That's it.
Y'all need to get somewhere. Y'all should be tired of talking out your neck now. If you should be joining me now. You should be tired of talking out your neck.
You gotta make them sit and have to watch everything.
Yeah, they doing it now.
This was just an emotional. It was just a very emotional from laughter with Chi Chi and that damn spelling. From look at Chi, from the road trip, and then then Miss Mary crying, and then it was anger. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like I'd have been on an emotional roller coaster. What's her name? Vivian Green? Is she the one that sing that? Who's singing emotional roller coaster?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been on an emotional roller coaster today. It was a lot today.
It was.
I thought that we were gonna get more scenes of us tearing into Holly's ass.
That might be on the way home.
Maybe on the way back.
Oh, true.
Holly, baby, if you looking, baby, you in danger, girl. Baby,
y'all read her when y'all got back.
Listen, and I seen that part they put in there when I had to check these fellas.
Well, I
think that's gonna be in there.
Oh my God, I'm not ready for that one.
Yeah, everybody pop off sometime.
But I'm a mom, so I had to do whatever I had to do. I had them praying and what you call them up there driving, getting nervous. Already was nervous with the driving, with Holly driving.
Baby, I got in that car. I got in that thing and took off, baby.
You went and did that little Miami.
Y'all had done went to sleep. Baby, y'all had done went to sleep and got up and we was in Miami, baby.
Did you see when they caught me sleep? They put the camera on me. What I was doing.
Yeah. Listen, it is such a really good show. It's a really good show. I'm really gonna go back over here.
I gotta watch it again tomorrow.
I'm gonna watch it again tonight. And then I know when the finale goes. I recorded it, girl. I've actually bought it on Amazon. I bought the season on Amazon just in case, it don't go off and my DVR get erased. I bought it because this is so important for me to just know that I did.
You did what you said you wanted to do.
I did what I said I wanted to do. I said I wanted to go and make an impact in this world. And
you did.
And telling my story to make an impact on this world. Even if I don't get 1 million people, if I got one, I did something.
That's all it takes. Cause that one
gonna bring you 1 million, right?
All it takes is one to stand up. That's all it takes. And I want to be that one to stand up to let y'all know I love y'all. And if y'all need somewhere to come and y'all hurting and need to pray, I'm there. That you can out.
Someone asked, do you still want a relationship with your dad? Are you still seeking that acceptance and relationship with your dad? And you don't have to answer it. I was just reading out the comments.
I'm just thinking.
He toxic.
I'm just thinking.
Very toxic.
You ain't gonna get nowhere with it.
No, but let me say this.
He need healing himself.
Yes.
Once he be true to himself, then he can be true to you.
Yeah. No, I just need this. Somebody said something, Craig. Maybe you can help me with this quote because you good for quotes.
You went to Howard.
Yes, Hampton.
It's the Book of Jewels, Craig.
Rose.
You said to me, I mean, I heard a quote where they said, I think it was Ianya Van Zandt said, people can only give you as much as they can. What is it that they can give?
I really think that may have been TD Jakes because I heard him and Oprah talking about it. Something about they can only give you, they can't give you more than they have in a cup that was already half full or something to that effect. Like they can't give you what they don't have.
And he didn't have it with his.
Right. I can't expect for him to give me something that he never got.
He didn't have it.
You know, I can't expect that from him. You know?
That's real.
If I had an opportunity to go through therapy, I would.
With him?
I would. I want to know. I don't know you.
But he don't think he need that.
But we don't know that, Mama.
I'm telling you what he has
said. We
said
and had a conversation. So I gotta see how the rest of the conversation plays out. I don't know you. And so, you know, but I still came from you. I still have little traits of you. Little pieces of you. I have that. I don't even know how I got them. They came from you. So you know, to be honest, I don't know. I don't really know. I might.
Or whoever's saying this, I've been forgave Boo father, but I don't have to take his bull because he talks nasty to me. And I don't have to accept what he say to my child or to me. So whoever you are, you don't know me and I don't know you. I know what I have lived through and I've been forgiven. And matter of fact, I've been praying for that boy for years. But he told me he don't give a F about Jesus. None of it. And you can speak cursing on your own self. You got to be very careful how you speak about God. God know we stupid sometimes, but then when you curse, you bring cursing on your own self with your own mouth. People don't believe this. Your mouth have life and death in the power of your own tongue. And you have to be very careful what you say to others and to your own self. But he curses God to the ground. And God done spared his life so many times. And I told him you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Because God is the one that's keeping you here right now. One breath and you gone.
Yeah. Thank you.
I feel like he's still in his teenager phase. He ain't become a grown man yet. He's still living in the past. So y'all ain't gonna.
He's still in a boy stage.
Right.
When we just talked after we done shot the movie. And the only thing he talking to me about is when he about getting back together with me. Don't be worried about me. I don't want you. Your child is trying to talk to you. Don't try to talk to me. That's over.
Yeah, that was one of my conversations. And then we got about 5 more minutes and then we gone. I don't know if we're going to see that next week. I don't know, but I will tell y'all that a part of my conversation was me saying to him, okay, sir.
That's all it would have been, sir.
Yeah, I said, okay, sir. Your relationship, you've said all of these things that could be falsities about my mother. You've said that my mother kept you away from me as a child. Okay, what happened between you? I'm from 0 to 18. You said
where you at?
I said from 19 on this way. Where were you? I wasn't. If that was the truth about my mother, which I know it is not, because she's never tried to deny me access to you. But if that were true, if from 0 to 18 she kept me from you, what happened on the 19th year all the way up to me being 43? What happened?
Where you at, Nego?
And Craig, y'all, his family, I would give them the utmost respect. His family was good to me. They turned on him for the way he treated me and this baby. They bought for my baby. They took care of my baby. They kept my baby. They did all them things. He came to me and told me, you had my whole family to turn on me for you. No, I didn't. Your own evil ways had them to turn on you. I didn't do that.
I do know that my father has been corrupted by narcotics. I do know that whatever demons he's battling with on the inside, he turned to narcotics to help him cope with that. I do know he has a fried brain. on whatever. I do know that he's received trauma from his own dad.
Yeah, his daddy did them some kind of
because
way.
I met him and he asked me. I met my grandfather and he was very much so. It was just like me talking to my own daddy, and it was very, hey, so, what made you think? Who told you was a woman? I was like, oh, okay. So here I go. I've skipped. I got to read your ass now,
Right?
You know,
But
because
he was very disrespectful.
I had this conversation with I can't remember who it was recently, and they were talking about being born gay, where people say, I've always known I was gay. And as a heterosexual woman, I can't say I understand it from a gay perspective, but I've always thought about it, and I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, because I'm not equating it at all to a sickness or an illness. But the way I explained it to my friend was, nobody's body or mind is perfect. So is it impossible to think that God couldn't have made someone that was feminine on the inside, but was physically male on the outside? When we have so many variations of people in this world, you know what I'm saying? Is it, can your mind not wrap around everything in you on the inside is feminine? Now, physically, when you have a person, and I can't remember what the medical term is, where they actually have ovaries and stuff on the inside and a penis on the outside, they actually have a word for that. So why is it so hard to believe that up here mentally?
Well, this is the way I always describe it.
Right, like you can't be feminine on the inside and have a physical male body on the outside.
The way that I always describe it is, and this is what helped me understand trans people from a mental perspective. If a person can be born intersex or hermaphrodite, where they have a penis and a vagina on the outside,
it's intersex. We got to make sure the term is
intersex.
That was what I said. Either intersex or hermaphrodite, quote unquote.
That was the original term,
right? So if a person can be born with male and female parts on the outside, why is it hard to believe that they could be wired differently on the inside?
Thank you.
And I'm just like, you know, so people will be like, well, you know, I don't understand it. I don't get it. You know, but that was what helped me understand it.
And me, Greg, is watching this thing where those you ever seen where they got those fishes, those different animals that can turn to male or female? And after when like I say, when after Boo opened my Facebook and all those asking me that I can't answer, and I told them all I can tell you is that I don't know, because I can't answer those questions. But they always be asking me, Miss Mary, why would people say that God, this is a choice? And I when I look at it and listen to them, and I was like, that's one question I have, because I see who want to go through the way I see people treat y'all.
Right? Who would choose that?
Who would choose this?
It was born this way.
And then I done met so many people that done come to me and told me they admire me for loving my child, because they tell me their story of how their fathers and mothers throw the children out at 15 and they ended up killing themselves. They committed suicide because they couldn't deal with that. And I started crying right there, because I couldn't even imagine the thought of that. Suicide, my child, you know, seeing my child kill themselves because the parent turned on them and didn't accept them. But I don't think there's no harm in a parent letting a child know they love them, because I think that's the greatest thing. A child, I don't care how many people out here in the world telling you they love you, but that them parents, it means something more than them outside people.
You better speak, Miss Mary.
It means much more. And even me, what you're seeing being rejected by people, I don't care about what all these people say. What mattered to me was what my mom and daddy said about me. Them other people can just go bite me. They can bite me.
Baby, that's our word right there.
Bite me.
But what mattered to me was what my parents them felt about me. How would it hurt them? How would they feel? I didn't care about them outside people, because them don't matter. But this is why I say it is so important. That's why the only message I hope I get from being on this show is to let parents know, regardless of whatever your child sexual identity, identity, let your child know you love them regardless.
No matter what.
No matter what, that your love is unconditional. The same way God love is for each and one of us. His love is unconditional.
And that applies to friends too.
Everybody.
I didn't birth you, Madison.
Everybody.
I didn't birth you, but you know,
make what I see that we don't have, even with Christian people. When I was going through my thing with my divorce, you don't have a safe place to go and talk about things you need to get out. Because people sitting there being gossiping, going talking about your business, and you trying to share it. You don't know where you can go and share. But make a space for your children can be able to come and talk to you. Because what hurted me, like I keep telling y'all, what hurted me the most out of this is that my child walked through all that pain alone and felt that because I was a Christian, that Boo couldn't come and talk to me. It wasn't that I didn't make a space for Boo. Boo walked away because Boo said Boo didn't want to hurt me. But Boo hurted me more by walking away and not sharing with me to let me know what you was walking through. So you need to make that space for your children can come and talk to you about anything.
Well, we ain't alone no more.
I love you, dear. Somebody about
look, that's our hug. We in there too.
Well, girl, I'm coming over there to talk to you.
Really? You need to go over there and talk to Craig. Craig heard all the nasty things you said about him.
I ain't say no nasty thing about Craig. I just spelled his name wrong.
All right, guys.
Thank
you guys so much for tuning in. If you have missed the show, this has been our after show. I want you guys to go back and watch it again to see whatever you missed, because we was tweeting so much and doing so much.
Watch it again.
I'm going back and watch it again because it was
really over there.
Huh?
Miss Mary, they said Miss.
Oh, Miss Mary Cook. Yes, I'm about to fix me that. You know, because listen, every time you guys watch it, if you guys watch it all the way up to 7 days later, we still get that rating. Honeybee.
And
let's get those numbers up. Let's get those numbers up.
Thank you all out there for who's getting the message and it's touching hearts, because I hope it stick with hearts of those family, those parents out there that are throwing your children to the side. You don't know how much damage you're doing to your children. And so many of them want to come home, want to talk to you. That's why so many of them have attitudes, because they feel they try to put up that wall because they don't feel they have no one. It don't matter how many friends telling them they love them. When that parent don't give you that love, it's something totally different.
Amen.
All right, y'all. We want to wish you guys a good night. And watch the show again. Tweet about it. Message us about it. You know, we love creating this show, you know, because it was a good.
It was a very teachable. It's very teachable. You know, that was a very teachable moment.
Fun, and it's a lot of fun, and it's funny.
It was fun, but I learned some things.
All right.
I hope they do something where they show some of the edited clips. You know that. Because it's a whole lot.
Okay. And WeTV, they do have a YouTube channel where they are putting deleted scenes on there. So make sure you guys go over there and check out the deleted scenes on the WeTV YouTube channel. It's on the videos. All you have to do is scroll, and you'll see the deleted scenes that they have from the show.
And you do it, and it's also on WeTV.com. They be on WeTV.com too. All the extras and deleted scenes.
In case it's next Thursday.
Last shameless plug. Y'all come hang out with us in Mexico. Shut up, Craig. Y'all come hang out with the cast in Mexico, July 9th through the 13th, where some people are staying an extra day till the 14th. Go to QSC, Queen Supreme Court, QSCvacations.com, and come hang out and party with us and meet the cast at the TS Madison experience. Oh, we get that, Chi-Chi? Yeah. QSCvacations.com.
All right.
And then make sure you go over to CraigTheWriterStewart.com and get that DMV boy hoodie that I had on. That B-boy and all this other merchandise over at Craig.
Good night, y'all.
The sale, the promo code is sale, and you get 25% off.
Sale and everything.
Love and respect is the greatest thing you can give to others.
That's it.
All right.
Girl, bye, Craig. Girl, one thing about Craig, she gonna plug in, girl. She gonna play about the plug.
Greatestore.com promo code sale.
Girl, here they go.
I'm thinking that her working for Glade, girl. How she be doing all these plug
Actually,
in?
before I go.
Women for who?
Glade. All these plug in.
My goalie gummies. Get your goalie gummies and use my code TS Madison Hinton because I got a fresh box here. I got
and if she pissed you off in the episode, use mine. It's Craig the
And listen, if them hoes piss you off, you can also use mine too.
What's yours?
I can't
This is Chi. Yeah,
I can't. But you make sure you use TS Madison Hinton. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.